Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get straight into today's story. A whistleblower has come forward with a stark warning. Asylum seekers in the UK are disappearing from hotels daily, slipping under the radar, and nobody seems to know where they go. And this isn't a small trickle. We're talking about hundreds, possibly thousands of people vanishing from the system every single week. The whistleblower, someone who has worked on the front lines in the asylum hotel system, says these disappearances are happening so regularly that staff barely bat an eye anymore. As they put it, they're invisible within society. Think about that. People are moving in and out of the country under government supervision and simply disappearing into communities without tracking or accountability. This raises huge questions about the system itself. How is it that someone the government is supposed to be housing, monitoring and supporting can just vanish? The answer is simple. The current Labour government has built a system that prioritises optics and bureaucracy over security and control. Instead of fixing the holes, they talk about compassion, diversity and helping the vulnerable. But when people literally walk away from the state housing unnoticed, you have to ask, who is being served here? The implications are clear. When asylum seekers disappear, we have no idea where they go, how they live or wherever they follow the law. Some might integrate peacefully, of course, but others could fall into criminal activity, exploit welfare systems or simply vanish without contributing to society. And when this happens on a mass scale, it erodes public trust. Ordinary Britons see hotel after hotel filled with migrants, hear about disappearing cases and naturally feel the government is failing them. Let's also talk cost. Every asylum seeker in government accommodation comes with a price tag. Taxpayers foot the bill for housing, food, welfare and support. When people disappear, that money is effectively wasted. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens are facing the highest cost of living crisis in decades, struggling with energy bills, housing shortages and rising taxes. The disconnect couldn't be starker. Your money's bent on a system that doesn't even know where the people it's funding are. And the political angle is impossible to ignore. Keir Starmer's Labour government has positioned itself as compassionate and progressive on migration. But when the consequences of poor management become visible, hotels empty and communities unsure who is arriving or leaving, the government looks weak, ineffective and out of touch. It also adds ammunition to opposition parties and figures like Nigel Farage, who have long argued for strong borders, strict enforcement and accountability. This isn't about denying support to genuine refugees, it's about control, law and order. If the government can't even track who's staying in state-provided accommodation, how can they expect to manage immigration effectively? The system isn't failing by accident, it's failing because the government refused to implement real controls, fearing the optics of being called harsh or unwelcoming. For the British public, this is a wake-up call. Every hotel that houses someone who disappears is a sign of systematic failure. Every day that passes without reform is another day citizens lose faith in the government's ability to protect borders and manage migration. Ordinary people want security, transparency and accountability, not disappearing asylum seekers and empty promises. So pay attention, ask questions, demand action, because while the government talks about compassion, the reality is hundreds of people vanish without a trace, funded by your taxes in a system that treats oversight as optional. That's not progress, that's a failure. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit subscribe now and drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think.